Hello. Today we're going to talk about numbers in Spanish, los números, and show you how they're similar and how they're different from ours. From 1 through 15, these are all different, different numbers. They don't look alike. Then if you see from 16 through 19, you see some similarity in those numbers because it's like our 16, 17, 18, 19. These are the upper teens. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Usually people learn 1 to 10 and then beyond that it gets a little harder. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You might have noticed trece sounds like trace. 14 is similar but not quite the same as cuatro. You'll see some more similarities when we get to the bigger numbers. 16, and all that is a combination of 10 and 6, and they put it together as one word. 16, 17, 18, 19, and then 20. 20 is 20. Now, 21 would be 21, and again, they are combined. You can see a slight change here. The E becomes I before you put the uno on. The same thing would be true of 22, 22, 23, up through 29. So I didn't write them all out. All right, then we go to 30, and 30 is a little bit like tres, right? 30. Now what happens? 31. So when you start past 30, when you go to 31, they are not combined anymore like 21 was. You have to do it as separate words. The Y means and. So you're saying 30 and 1. 32 would be 32, and so forth. 40. 50. Do you hear how it's similar to cinco? 50. 60. 70. 80, like ocho. 90. 100. 100 is like our word for cent. You can see it maybe more here. 101. Anything over 100 is ciento. Ciento. So the only time we use the word cien is when it's 100 even. But I wanted you to notice this. 60 is like 6, like seis. 70, the T in it, like in siete. 80, like ocho. 90, similar to nueve. So we have these carryovers from the lower numbers up to the higher numbers. And that creates some problems sometimes for foreign speakers. This one, uno, the one in a lot of other countries, not just Spanish-speaking countries, the one is written with this little, what I call a tail on it, all right? Which sometimes looks like our 7. Their 7s are written like this, with a line through them. That's so that you don't, confuse the 1 and the 7. So the 1, the 7. Those are the two numbers that are the most different from the way we write them. There are other differences like the 4, which in some countries is enclosed at the top, or the 8 that they make with 2 separate circles. rather than the infinity sign. But basically, this is it with the Spanish numbers. Now, of course, you can go on. I didn't go past 100. Now, if we're talking about cost, because usually if you're traveling to another country and you have to order food or other items, you need to know how much something costs if it's not already written on a screen or on, if there's not a menu. So if you want to ask the cost or el precio of something, you say cuánto es, or if it's something plural, cuánto son. Cuánto means how much, like quantity. Okay. So cuánto es, like un café. ¿Cuánto es un café? Right? They would tell you 35 pesos. And notice also, you thought that was dollars, didn't you, at first? This is a peso sign. The dollar sign has 2 vertical marks, so you have to be careful about that. So, ¿cuánto es un café? 35 pesos. And that's not an awful lot. The other thing I wanted to mention is that over here, the number 1, when we counted, was uno. The only time you use uno is when you are counting, uno, dos, tres, or if you're playing the game Uno. Otherwise, 1 is either un or una. And I may have mentioned before that in Spanish you have masculine and feminine. All nouns are either masculine or feminine. Doesn't have anything to do with people. It's not male-female. Okay? So most words in Spanish that end in O are going, that end in O, like taco, for example, is masculine. That's really easy to see that. But tamale, not so easy to see because it doesn't end in an E, in an O, it ends in an E. Generally speaking, those words are also masculine. This is the way you can tell probably 98% of the time. If a noun ends in an A, then it is feminine, okay? And you would use una. Okay, so un is masculine, una is feminine. All right. Now, dos sangrias, you don't have to just order one of something. How much are 2 sangrias? Okay. We use son because 2 sangrias is plural. We can't use es anymore. ¿Cuánto son 2 sangrias? All right, this would be 120 pesos. Remember I told you ciento is used for anything over 100. 120 pesos. The question here, would we use es or son? Es or son?
Son.
Nope. Es. ¿Cuánto es una fajita? Good try though. ¿Cuánto es una fajita? 65 pesos. And you use that, this E, looks like it's a Y, but it's pronounced E. Okay. 65. ¿Cuánto es un tamale? 100 pesos. We just use 100 because it's 100 even, right? ¿Cuánto es un taco? 85 pesos. Okay, we have here dos hamburguesas, 2 hamburgers. So we're going to have to use son, okay? ¿Cuántos son 2 hamburguesas? Now, I threw in a big number here. It's easy. 200. You just put dos in front of the word ciento, put an S on it because now it's plural. 230 pesos. So this is just an idea. I wanted to mention the un and una. because when I taught you that uno means one, I didn't lie, but it's only used when you count, all right? And this is the cost, precio, and the numbers to 100. I hope you have learned something today and enjoyed it. Give us a thumbs up and share this with your friends.